Am I back? Can everybody see me okay? Alright, good deal. So there are, Bad Goalie spent a total of $27 and ended up with not a bad haul for 27 bucks. Machado Orange, Robertson Refractor, Tim Cooney Green, and a Conley Auto. So I can't promise that kind of return out of retail packs all the time, but not bad at all. Welcome in, everybody. Got quiet Easter morning around here. My wife's at church, so I opened up the breakery for a while. Got a lot of stuff in stock. About the most fun that can be had cheaply this morning. Bad Goalie just took advantage of. I've got some retail value packs of Bowman products around. So I've got the original, the first spring release paper, as well as platinum. Those are $15 for your first, $12 for each additional. He just bought 2 papers and got those 4 cards that are standing up in front of you, so not a bad haul. Oh, it's one of the grand questions of the day. For those of you who don't open a large amount of stuff, if you collect primarily through breaking, on the back side, I'd have to honestly look at the card, Solish, but when you're on the breakery side of this, the volume of top loaders and one touches and things you have to keep in stock is incredible, because depending on the product now, there are so many thick stock cards that they're 75 point, 100 point, 130 point, 160 point, 188 point, and you've got to keep all that stuff in stock because you never know what you might run into. You got books, all that kind. I mean, you probably have to have around 150 bucks worth of supplies on hand just to ship everything. I guess the trick is I'd have to see it probably on edge and then on edge next to a regular card just for the purpose of scaling. I might be able to figure something out. I mean, some of this stuff, I think triple threads is one of the worst abusers. I mean, it's like they're printing this stuff on foam core. It's so thick. I mean, even when you get all the way up to the 188 or 200 point holders, sometimes it's a stretch to get stuff smashed in there. Well, if it's 3 or 4 cards, you're probably looking at either a 100 or 130. I don't know if you can see it particularly well on the video, but the one on the right here, that's a 100. The one on the left is a 130. And just for the purpose of perspective, that's a standard that I just added there to the right. Are you guys seeing a tremendous lag on my video right now? Yes, you are. Yeah, if you look. Oh, I was going to say, I've got examples of 3. I've just got top loads here. The far right here is a standard single card top load. The one next to it's a 100 point, and the one beyond that's a 130. Alright, if you want to do true platinums, bad goalie, then they're 12 apiece since you already paid 15 on your first. So just send over 24 more and we'll tear them open. Yeah, probably 100 point would do then. Oh, you did bad? That's what I get for looking around. Let me clear out your hits here from the first. So, in all honesty, Soulish, if you just send me an IM, I can look into that in a minute. I got to sort out bad goalie here and do a couple other things. I apologize for the background noise. The Breakery's 2 great guard dogs, are Lab and Terrier, are thoroughly convinced we're under attack in some way. All right, goalie. We have got what? I think 6 platinums available. So you know the rule. Just grab your top and bottom. All right. Just so you guys are aware, when I'm running breaks over here, I've got my live feed in front of me, and then I've got a second computer running that's showing me what you guys are seeing. And right now, this is legitimately about 20 seconds between what I'm seeing and what you're seeing. So I apologize if that causes an issue for somebody on your end. It's just very hard for me to keep straight exactly what's going on. Alright, so know you on the top and bottom. Platinum's a little bit different. There are nowhere near as many cards in it. They're obviously prettier and shinier. So here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and open both bags this time rather than pausing halfway through. Go through these couple of purple refractor packs quick. These are actually really pretty cards. They're exclusive to retail. So, as is the case with any retail, you're not going to hit anything crazy valuable. They're not numbered, but they sure are pretty. Herrera, Chris Anderson, and Courtney Hawkins for the White Sox. Hunter Dozier, Mark Appel, and Rob Kaminsky. Into the packs. Good luck, goalie. J.P. Crawford, Billy McKinney, Marcus Semien, and a George Springer Top Prospects die cut. Rosell Herrera, another Chris Anderson, Justin Upton, and a gold Chris Davis. No number on the gold. Courtney Hawkins, an X-Fractor Kyle Zimmer, Colton Wong, Jimmy Nelson. Austin Meadows, Addison Russell, Christian Bettencourt, and a gold Josh Donaldson. Raul Mondesi, Austin Hedges, Eric Johnson, and a John Singleton. Last pack. Jose Barrios, Billy McKinney Refractor, Carlos Santana, and a Taiwan Walker Cutting Edge Stars. So that's that. Those are 2 packs of Platinum, 2 value Platinum packs. Those are all the cards. Goalie, I will send, I'm just going to send all those out to you. The standard cards in Platinum are, depending upon who you ask, worth 50 cents or so a piece. So I'm just going to ship you everything. Platinum tends to be a little harder to run into big hits in. It does have Bryant in the prospect set, and it's got some very nice autos and things in it. They're just a little harder to come by, especially in retail. I've got a hobby box of it laying around if anybody's interested. Since we already broke up the baseball mixer, it's sitting here in the room. And that's got 3 hits in it, so it's a little better than Bowman Chrome that way, about the same price as Chrome. So if anybody's interested, let me know. Everybody else in the room, welcome in. This is Breakfast at the Breakery, Sunday morning breaks. I'm only on 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday mornings. It's usually pretty laid back and relaxed. We've been doing a surprising amount of ripping this morning. Usually we do more talking about sports and what I can and can't afford to buy for stock. But if you're interested in anything, prices are listed below the video. We broke up the baseball mixer. Somebody bought the box of Finest outright earlier, but I do still have the box of Platinum laying around. I would like to do this football mixer today, guys. There are 8 spots in it. They're pretty reasonably priced. A lot of places would want $50 or so a division for this. But the football mixer is a divisional of all 4 of these products. It's $35 a division, $32 for each additional division, or if you've already bought into something else today. They're all fun products. There are a bunch of hits in there. Any division that figures out a way of going hitless, I'll figure out a way of supplementing you. I've got a few other things around, maybe we'll just draw a an auto out of my stock, or we can do something with, I think I got some packs of stuff laying around. Rip and list, I got your IM. I will send back out. Soulish, really a penny sleeve is extremely thin. Yeah, Steve, it's random divisions of that football. If somebody wants to try some other way other than random divisions, I'm all for it. Like we've done it before where everybody picks the top 2 teams, so each spot gets to pick 2, and then I randomize the remaining 16 teams. I can do it a lot of ways. It's just a matter of can we get all the people who buy in the room at the same time if we're going to do it draft-wise. Otherwise, we just do random divisions. Yeah, Soulish, I would say you're probably safest with a 100 point because the difference between 100 point and 75 point is pretty severe. But honestly, maybe the best thing to do is take it to a hobby shop and just see what they have to say. Take a look. It's hard for me to guess without actually holding the card. Yeah, I mean, if you put it in the 75 point, the only downside is that it might be a little bit overly restricted. Yeah, it's probably, especially if you're just going to buy a couple of them. The safe bet is to buy a 100 and a 75. Eventually, you're going to run into a card that needs the other size anyway. So yes, everybody, I did have a bunch of IMs to catch up on. I apologize for my tardiness there while I was sorting that out. But I've got plenty of product in stock for boxes. I've also got value packs of the base Bowman Baseball and the Bowman Platinum Baseball, if anybody's interested. Those are listed down below. There's a baseball hit draft that could be a lot of fun if I've got baseball fans in the room. It's Tier 1 and Inception. So there are a total of 8 cards in there. Some of them are extremely valuable, worth hundreds. Some of them are not. No way of knowing what's in a box until you open it. But there are 8 total cards. $26 buys you a spot, so you get one of the cards out of here. I randomize names, everybody drafts. Whoever ends up at the bottom of that random is going to get one of these value packs of Bowman Baseball. So if you're a baseball collector, that's a pretty good way to come up with some guaranteed hits. Is $25 buys you a hit no matter what. Could get you the #1 spot. Tier 1's got Bat Knobs. Inception's got Chris Bryant. Who knows what we're going to pull out of those until we open them up. All right, Cuse. Yeah, that's always the trick. I don't like asking people to buy into stuff until I know I've got enough people to fill it. I always reimburse your PayPal if you pay ahead, but I don't want to have a situation where people are paying into me and then finding out the break never went, and it just doesn't work out well for anybody. So how many brackets in the room are completely busted? How many of you had Kentucky versus somebody other than Duke in the national championship game? Seems like my office pool, I'm the only guy who picked Wisconsin, so there's total disrepair amongst everybody else's bracket. There's probably 80% people picked Kentucky. Hey, I gotta love the Badgers. Something about, well, it doesn't make any sense that Wisconsin should be a basketball powerhouse, and I guess that's part of the reason I find myself pulling for them. Obviously, Stadies are Michigan State's my primary team, the alma mater of the household, so we're all pretty crazy about Michigan State. But when they have a down year, it's awfully hard to pull against Wisconsin. Pretty much any sport, they just seem to do it the right way. Just a minute, everybody. I've got to go let the Breakery's fearsome watchdogs back in the house. Because I don't even know what that's a picture of. Looks like a Pokemon stuck under a drinking faucet or something. I can't make head or tail of it. Alright guys, there's the football mixer. Anybody interested? Let me know. I'm going to set that for high noon. So between now and noon, anybody wants personal boxes or value packs or anything else, let me know. But I'm going to push that thing from now until noon. If we can get 6 or 7 of the 8 spots sold, I'll break it this morning. But as is always the case in the Breakery, I'm off the air at 1 because Mrs. Rizzo comes home, goes to work, and I am in charge of the Chief Financial Officer all afternoon. Good decision there, Solish. Yeah, it's just too hard for me to pick that kind of thing up sometimes without. If I had a bunch of those sitting around where I could handle one of the cards, I could probably tell you pretty quick and easy. But it was a, what was it, 2010? Post that out again, Solish. It looks like Muck might be able to help you out. It was a 2010 tribute or something, maybe? There you go. My money was on the 100 point Muck, but again, without actually having one here that I can handle, I'm not particularly willing to take a guess at it. Nice card, Muck. Did you create that screen name intentionally to see if you could get a breaker to swear? It's dangerously close every time I look up. The same ballpark as Easter morning F-bombs. I'm with you. I was thinking 100 point Solish. If Muck's on board, then I only use the one touches really in my stuff I'm keeping for personal collection. And admittedly, I don't have any 2010 stuff sitting around, especially not tribute, that I could dig up at the moment. But they do a good job of keeping your card secure, but the card does shift around in about all of them, at least some small amount. Yeah, that's thicker cards I tend not to send out for grading, Muck, but if it's valuable enough, I will. Thick cards just never seem to survive the grading process very well. I've had a lot of them that look pretty pristine to me, come back scored as 7 or 8s. Sure. You're going to throw it out here or drop it in IM or? I'm not afraid to say I have no idea what the answer to that question is, Muck. Even if I had some 2012 playbook sitting right in front of me, I could tell you in that case. Oh, well, there you go. It's a good question and answer. My issue is that when you start dealing in a lot of different products, and admittedly, that's good if you have 3 gem mints. I've got several. What were they? I think they were triple threads. You know, just base triple thread auto looking cards. I mean, so they weren't great big 150 pointers or something. But just because they were thicker cards, the edges of them get beaten up a little bit, and you end up with a lousy score. I had a... Well, I can't even find them. They're around the house somewhere. Nice. Good for you. I don't know what that particular set looked like, but it definitely helps if you have cards that lack the dark borders and things. I know a lot of... well, I can probably even grab one quick. Yeah, I mean, I think that's out of '08. It's just a junk card. It's in my toss-in bin, but it's 38 out of 50. But you can see it's about a 100 pointer, and it's a very nice card, but I'd be willing to bet if I sent it in for grading, I'd come back somewhere in the 8s on it, even though, to me, it looks about as nice. I mean, it came literally from the pack into the top loader, but just life in the pack and factoring or handling by the signer and everything else causes cards to get a little bit dinged up, and it's a bigger issue with the thicker cards. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to bother grading. What was the name of that superstar? The great Kevin Hart, who may have thrown 2-3 games for the Cubs once upon a time. But maybe you've had a different experience than me. I've just, in general, when I send in the thicker cards, they get beaten up a little bit. And especially if they're memorabilia cards, I seem to be able to sell them for... yeah, Kevin Hart's a great comedian. Short-lived major league career, but great comedian. The grand sizing question continues. Maybe even 55 point. We're down from 100 to... Yeah, guys who don't do this very much, or guys who, especially if you don't host breaks, this, from my perspective, is maybe the most frustrating part of the industry now, is that sets, beyond base Bowman, base tops, things like that, and even those do it sometimes, but sets are starting to introduce so many different thicknesses of card that if you're opening stuff in any kind of volume, you legitimately need $200 maybe worth of various top loads and one touches and even penny sleeves. You have to have at least 2 or 3 sizes of, because you could run into a book, you could run into a... And all that kind of plays back to what I say a lot of times when guys talk about breaking. That's part of the service that you're paying the breaker for, is to have all that stuff on hand so that you don't have to. Trade-off is that we never get to sell you the cards as cheap as some other places, because you're paying for us to sort all that stuff out, find you the right size top loads or one touches, etc., etc. The great sizing enigma. Solish is running into an issue that I've found too, that a lot of times the local shop doesn't have the full range. Well, you can always insert all the jokes here, Hockey, about the exchange rate on the loonie if you really want to, but I don't think it accomplishes much. Very nice card, Muck. Am I looking at the card, or are you trying to show me something about the case it's in for the purpose of solving Solish's issue? It is a beautiful card. Guys, that's another thing here in the breakery. Post anything. If you've got stuff on eBay that you want to sell, you want to trade with guys, feel free to post it. I'm not the least bit concerned about that kind of thing. Yeah? It looks like it should be a winner for grading. Yeah, nice chrome surface on it looks pretty pristine, at least from the image here. I don't see any big nicks around the lettering in the relic portion. So yeah, it looks like a nice card. Be interested to know how it turns out. Yeah, guys, amongst all of our chatting, if anybody wants to buy anything, feel free. There's a football break that if we don't get it going in the next 40 minutes, I guess I'm calling off for the day, but we still have plenty of personal boxes and value packs and things laying around. Yeah, Solish, I think the best solution at this point is just to have the card laminated. That may detract from the value slightly, but it does assure that it's protected. If you ever get a chance, if you're in one of the big guy rooms, and I won't name them because they haven't endorsed me in any way, but if you're ever dealing with one of the big breakers out here, just ask them that question. Ask them to pan around and show you the inside of the break spot where they're packaging things. It's just incredible. I've got next to me a cabinet about the size of a kitchen cabinet that's just full of various sizes of top loaders and penny sleeves and but when you go to those big shops where they're opening all that product, they've got thousands of dollars worth of just plastic that houses cards before they mail them out. And the cards themselves are really only a part of breaking as a business. Oh, high quality wax, also a great solution. You can melt down some stick wax, bury that thing right in there, let it set back up, you'd be in business. That's absolutely what you have to do, Muck. I mean, yeah, you don't want any part of the whack, sports. It's absolutely true. Well, I mean, when I go to the place where I buy a lot of my cards from that we sell in here, probably 10-15% of the order cost virtually every time is just buying the supplies that I need for getting stuff open. Nice, sports. It is Easter morning. It's probably best you apologize for that statement. It made me laugh, though. Yeah, I wish I could say I was sorry for the Kentucky lost, sports, but I'm not. Big Ten fan. If it puts a Big Ten team through to the final, I got to pull for them. Soulish, that's something. If you ever want to host breaks, you're going to spend an embarrassing amount of time trying to figure out what sizes of stuff you need. It just goes on and on and on, and even a lot of local hobby shops don't carry the full range. You pretty much have to go to one of the big sellers to get something in standard and 55 point and 75 and 100 and 130, 160, 188. I mean, you have to keep all that stuff around. It's just unendingly tiring. Yeah, I get that, sports. Here in Southwest Michigan, we have our share of, well, I mean, I'm an hour from Chicago, and as a Sox fan, I get spoiled by the fact that there's always a sport in season right now. Obviously, we're on the eve of baseball season. We got football, we got basketball, hockey, Big Ten. It's all over the place. Thanks for that, Muck. I'm a Sparty, so I don't hate you guys that much. Just too bad when they did the Big Ten realignment, they put probably the 3 or 4 most powerful teams all into one side of the conference at the moment. Sorry, Lefty, fell asleep on my IMs. Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody. Lefty sent over on a box of Bowman Inception baseballs, so we'll be opening that for him. That's canceled the hit draft baseball, which is fine by me because hit drafts are a load of fun, guys. You ever get to do it. The downside is that it's really hard to make sure you have 4, 5, 6, 8 people all in the room at the same time to get it done. So. All right, Lefty, here's what we're going to do. Still have a plastic wrapping, obviously, on this. I've written Lefty right on the outside of the box. I'm going to leave it right here, do a start-stop. Once I'm back up on your end, please post to the chat that you can see me, and we will get this thing broken open.